Welcome to Sumburgh Head at the southernmost tip of mainland Shetland, and I will show you an aspect of a restoration project that I was involved with very fortunately a number of years ago, relating to the restoration of a Second World War radar station, an Admiralty radar station adjacent to the early Victorian lighthouse here at Sumburgh Head. So you'd be very welcome to join me on an extremely windy day as we navigate the strategic significance of Shetland during the Second World War. We're about to go outside. It's going to be windy. There's the lighthouse tower. So Sombra Head was part of an Admiralty setup of radar stations, Admiralty Experimental stations, which stretched from Sumburgh Head on the north mainland of Scotland to Fair Isle, to here at Sumburgh Head, and up to the most northerly radar installation at Saxavord on the island of Unst. This was an Admiralty scheme related to Vice Admiral James Somerville, who was on the Suffolk coast in the autumn of 1939 when radar tests were being undertaken, and he was able to ascertain how significant and how useful the technology of radar could be to protect the Fair Isle Channel, the strategic stretch of water between mainland Scotland, Orkney and Shetland. So this is a restored example of the radar station at Sumburgh Head, and I'm just going to spin you around and inspect. So it's very significant that we're standing here on the 8th of April, because on the 8th of April 1940, a very significant German raid just on the eve of the invasion of Norway and Denmark, as you can see from the map table, was being plotted, and it was plotted from here in Shetland, coming from the north of Germany across towards Orkney, towards Scapa Flow, where the British Home Fleet were at anchor. And it was this radar station at Sumburgh Head that was able to identify the raid and get word to Orkney, where a significant barrage repelled the German Luftwaffe. The commanding officer on that day, a man called George Clifford Evans, said that if the men on duty took no further part in the Second World War, they had already justified the entire enterprise of the radar station. So radar was very much a child of the 1930s, and through the developments, principally through the Scottish scientist Robert Watson Watt, and various tests and experimental research that was done in England, there was a significant network of radar stations that was established to defend the southern approaches, or the southeast corner of England, and that was extended through the latter part of the 1930s. The station here at Sombra came online in December 1939 and is part of a number of radar stations that existed in Shetland, stretching from here at Sumburgh Head up to Saxavord and Lamines in Unst at Score, RAF Score, which was a very large chain home radar station, and out to Watsness on the west side of Shetland, and also at Clayt in the island of Walser. So this was a wonderful project to be part of, the restoration of the Second World War radar station as part of the Shetland Amenity Trust's adaptive reuse of the Sumburgh Head complex. And we worked with some fantastic designers, Bagatsky Design, Jeff and Sarah, and all the guys at Leach Colour, Jim Parkin, Nicola Ward, Matt Arnold, some fabulous architects as well at Grove Rains Architects. And I'll just spin you around and show you very much this really was just a concrete shell, and we were able to kit it out. The blackboard that tells the story of the night in question, the 8th of April 1940, very significant date as the sun comes through the windows. And we were able to see from an archival point of view all of the wonderful footage that existed the documentation, the severe concern from the lighthouse keepers and the Ministry of Shipping and the Admiralty, and really be able to tell fundamentally the strategic significance of Shetland and the Shetland Islands at war.